Alright, hello. It is Sunday, almost 8:30, and we are going to take a look at what we're expecting for the week, and then that's really it. I'm going to try and keep it quick, but let's get right to it. Alright, just for starters, we'll start with the SPY, but first, a lot of the futures are getting hit in the trading here, and this kind of goes hand in hand with what I was expecting. I mean, we have a pretty clearly defined wave here, as you can see. So with that being said, we got a nice little red day to start us off. Now, I will say this: I do expect us to get low. I expect us to break into 157s on the SPY, but I do expect a lot of chop early in the week. We have a $5 billion POMO day on Tuesday, and a little under 1 for Monday, so that should complicate things. SPY is concerned, my first target would be right around here. So I'll say 157.35. Break that, and then a move to that midline there. 1 second. 157.35. I'm expecting a move to right around 156, 155 for the week before we bounce again. We've had great volatility the past 14 sessions now, and it's been going real well for us. I don't expect this high around 159 to break. I don't think we'll establish a new high anytime soon. It just doesn't match up with what I'm seeing on the indicators, and the indicators are pretty reliable. Usually I get around 90, 92, 93% success rate just playing off the indicators, but they don't tell me about chop. They don't tell me about that kind of thing, but I do expect it to be choppy. I expect them to try and keep us on the long side, but at some point the bottom will fall out. Netflix just came off that big earnings gap up again, and it held. I mean, the unfortunate part is, what can you really do right now with Netflix? I mean, you can try and guess that there'll be a move higher. Sure. You could try and guess that there'll be a move lower. I personally think that it will test, what was the low here? The 210 area, I think it will test. Hasn't really gotten there yet. So just for the sake of coming up with a target for Netflix, I will say 210. I expect that to hold. Netflix is in a freaking ridiculous uptrend, burnt a ton of shorts again, and I don't expect anything less than higher highs in the future, but I do expect the broad market to come down a bit, which is why my target is at 210. Amazon, unfortunately, has shot itself in the foot here. It was looking gorgeous. It was a great play for us the past 2 weeks. Obviously, last week it had that earnings premium attached to it, which kind of fucked up a lot of our plans and a lot of the big money we could have made, unfortunately. But I'm going to try and stay away from it, only because crazy volatility right now. It just came off that huge earnings gap down. Well, it wasn't even a gap down, it was just a trading session. clusterfuck. Kind of played out. I will say this much. I still believe in Amazon. I still like Amazon as a chart. But it's not something that we're going to come up with a target for at this point. We're going to wait and see what they do. Although, if for those of you who are risk takers, guessing that there's going to be a bounce might not be a bad idea, but we're not going to fuck around with that. LinkedIn has been a beauty. Just established new highs off our call to 189, 190. Kind of just sat there on Friday. I personally would like to see a move. I'd like to see a move to 182, but I'm going to say 184 point. Where are we at right now? No, check that. I'm going to say 185 just to keep it real and attainable. 185. It's got earnings coming up at the end of the week, I believe, or maybe early next week. I'm not really sure. What is that? I think it's the second. Yeah, so let's see. That's like what? End of next week or beginning of next, whatever. It doesn't matter. Apple has a dividend coming up, which will complicate things as always. But Apple's in a nice little uptrend. I expect Apple to go a little bit higher before reversing. It held over 400 for the week, contrary to what most people thought was going to happen. Did break this midline here, and I'd like to see a move to this line, but I don't know if that's really in the cards. I do, however, think that a nice starting point would be right around 425, 426, so we'll hold on to that for the time being. 4, 5. Google. Google wants to fall, and I like that a lot. For the sake of the Goog, I'm going to say it's going to hit that midline at 794. 794. Google's been kind of cursed with that Apple syndrome after establishing new highs. It did break down to the 700s twice here. Well, it held under the 800s twice for an extended period. Kind of came back up off that earnings, screwed over everybody and their mother, and now it looks like it's just coming back down. If you really look, you got a fractal sell signal here too, but that's a whole nother topic of conversation. I do like the short on Google though. Premiums are going to be jacked through the roof though. It's Google. Price line. I think price line's just going to chop for a little bit, so we'll come back to that midweek. This Baidu got hammered. I don't know why, but it doesn't really have any crazy volatility for us. GS, and this is why I think that we're gonna get this short here. Is the banks kind of tipped it off, and if you look back, right around here was the last great short we had. The banks tipped it off again, and then on the reversal, the banks lag, and then they bounce. Goldman's in a nasty little downtrend right here, but I like the short to 141 and change. 141.44 will be the target. could get that, or we could get stuck and have to wait till Tuesday. But we shall see. Lululemon needs to come the fuck back down. This I actually like a lot, and I like it for a 3-point move. 171.83. One sec. Lulu. 71.83. Sam had a great chart for a short, if I remember, yeah. But unfortunately, the options just don't move, and they're monthlies. They don't even have weeklies, which complicates things further. Chipotle, I do like the short, but I don't think it's got the volatility of late, unfortunately, and it should hold that run on earnings. Citigroup. Citigroup's another one. Didn't establish highs in parity with the SPY, which I don't like, but I do like the short play here. Again, with everything else, I think it's got a point in it at least, so my target is 45.79. 45.79. We got a lot this week, a lot of things to talk about. Bank of America, it's another one. This one actually held up pretty well on Friday, and this is what kind of has me thinking that we might get a chop session before we fall again, but I do like the move to 12.04, actually a little bit higher than that, 12.08, but we're going to split hairs, I guess. And then we have Visa to end the list, really. And this is showing a great short here. First target, as always, is this midline, 165.42. Visa 165.42. That's really it as far as just basic stocks that we're looking at for this week and what I expect them to do. But I do want to take a quick look at the sectors, because as many of you following me on Twitter know, I've been trying to find a correlation between the sector moves and what's lagging behind and everything. And you'll see here with the basic materials sector, they're showing a good long. So that kind of has me thinking that they're going to lead on the next charge up. We have technology showing a good short, which is why I like that. Consumer, I don't even know what the hell this is, but whatever it is, it's showing a short, and it should be confirmed on Monday. It's also showing a fractal sell. Again, higher high, highest high, lower high, and lower low. So that's going to be good. Consumer staples just holding up incredibly well. Not really any crazy volatility there, unfortunately. But they are showing that they've just about maxed out their low side, which further complicates things for us, because we want great moves, we want great shorts and great longs. Energy sector is ready to come down again. The finance sector is showing ready to come down. And then, I'm not going to go through all of them. The healthcare, I don't even play healthcare stock, so it doesn't matter to me. But for those of you who do, keep an eye on it. Industrial complex is showing a good sign for a short. See, we're getting a lot of contrary indications, but I am seeing the big boys, those being the technology and the banking, financial industries, are showing good shorts. This is why I personally think we're going to get a chop session, and it's going to make us all miserable, because depending on which way it goes, we'll get one holding up strong, we'll get something else just tanking off, and then we have that Tuesday POMO of 5 billion to just further complicate things. So, moral of the story is all these targets are great, but they're just that, they're targets. If you see something different, play what you see, because we're doing this at 8 o'clock at night. A lot can change in the next, 12 hours before the market opens. So, as always, I use these just to give me a general idea, and then I use the tape and what I'm seeing as far as that to really direct me in my trades. Unfortunately, a lot of times I'll miss bigger plays than what we should have, but in the last 2 weeks we've racked up something like 12,000% returns on our calls. We've had some massive successful plays, and not a lot of failures, fortunately. So I'm looking to just keep that going, keep the consistency, and take it for what it's worth. I will say this week, mainly this week and a little bit of next week, I'm going to be pretty swamped as far as being in front of my computer and being in the market and on top of everything. I will keep doing these webcasts at night, but unfortunately I have finals, which complicates things for me, because I am still in college. But as always, Options Trader New Jersey, and I will see you guys